It's time to get spoopy. That sucked way too much. So what's up, y'all? It's your boy CJ Tarrant, and welcome to the month of Spoopy. Okay, where the fuck did that thunder come from? It's not even raining. Anywho, today we're going to be reading scary campfire stories, and I have searched the deep web, I have looked all over, and trust me, these are really scary. Now, I would get some candles and turn off this light, but I can't deal with fire, because last time I did, I almost burned down a church. So yeah, but today we're going to be reading very, very scary campfire stories. Let's go. Okay, so the first one is 10 holes. Once in a little village, not that far from here, there was a problem. Animals had started dying off, one by one. In the morning, their owners would see them lying outside with 10 holes in their chest. The people thought it was the work of their neighboring town. Then, one night, a man by the name of Fred. I'm sorry. Fred was closing his store for the night. I keep fucking up. It was very late, and he was anxious to get home to his family. He shut off all the lights, then closed the door with a satisfying click. As he turned around to go to his car, he saw a dark shape in the distance. He stood, still trying to make out what it was. As it got closer, Fred turned to go. It was the last move he ever made. The next day, they found him with 10 holes in his chest. That's kind of fucked up. I would have probably left the town by now. But okay. I guess. This made the town quite worried. They were scared of more people getting killed. So, one night, two brave brothers, John and Jacob, went out to get rid of the problem. They each took knives and walkie-talkies. They said goodbye to their father and kissed their grandmother on the way out. The two boys decided to split up. One would go by the side of the murderer, and the other would wander the streets. If one was attacked, they could use their walkie-talkie to contact the other. So they set off, keeping a close eye on the shadows. Nothing seemed to be happening. It was a calm night, and it seemed like they would get home safely. But then suddenly, John heard a crackling in the bushes behind him. He tried to call his brother, but it was too late. The figure leaped out of the bushes and tackled him, gouging his chest with its nails. Luckily, Jacob heard the commotion and rushed to help him. He leaped through the air and cut off the creature's right hand. The creature screamed and ran. Jacob took John to the hospital, and they bandaged him home. Doctors called them heroes, and finally, they got home at 6 in the morning. Only their grandmother was up, so they said good morning. They went back to bed. Neither of them noticed. She was missing her hand. That gave me chills. That honestly gave me chills, because the grandmother killed wild living things and almost killed her grandson. So, damn, that's pretty scary. I see lots of scariness. Let's go. So this one is called A House of Terror. So, the car finally gave out. Jeff hit the dashboard in frustration. It was bad enough that the car had to break down. But at night, in the rain, in the middle of God knows wherever he was, it was a fitting end to his bad week. The week had seen his wife. The week had seen his wife leave him, taking the kids with her. That's incorrect grammar, but okay. He had been demoted at his job and was now forced to go back on the road as a salesman. Now this had happened, and things weren't going to get any better anytime soon. Jeff decided that he might as well try to find a way out of this mess. He considered waiting in his car for another car to come by and help him. The road wasn't often used though, and that might take hours, so Jeff decided to first walk down the road to see if there was any other choices. After walking for half an hour in the pounding rain, Jeff finally came across an old house in the woods. Now Jeff had seen enough horror movies to make him turn back, but the rain alone was enough to override his sense of fear and trepidation. I don't know what that word means. He walked up the winding winding road to the door. I cannot read, I swear. The house looked to be very old and not kept up well, and Jeff wondered if anyone even lived there anymore. He knocked on the door. See, this is me trying to make it scary because it is a scary story, but you know what? Fuck it. And to his surprise, it was answered rather quickly. An older man, looking to be in his late 70s, asked him what he wanted. Jeff explained his situation and asked if the man had a phone or some way to help. The older man said he was wary of travelers, but decided that Jeff looked honest enough and let him use his phone. Jeff thanked him, and I just got a notification, so... Oh yeah, I forgot to turn off my... I'm the bad YouTuber. So Jeff thanked him and asked his name. It said his name was Joseph Palmer and told Jeff the number of the nearest garage. Jeff made his way to the phone, noticing that the house looked about as old inside as it did outside, and was surprised that there wasn't even a phone at the place. Look, if you know that you're going to a house in the woods, have y'all seen The Cabin in the Woods? Y'all know damn well never, and I mean it, never go to some random house. You know not to do that shit because then you're dead, bitch. You're dead. He called the garage, but they said there was nothing they could do until the morning. They would meet him at noon at his car. Mr. Palmer offered Jeff the guest room to sleep in for the night. Jeff was a bit wary at spending the night in such a spooky old house, but decided that the walk back in the rain and sleeping in the car could be much safer than staying at the house. He accepted and was shown to the room. The house was adorned with the antique everything. Not a piece of furniture seemed to have been purchased in at least this last 60 years or more. Mr. Palmer showed him the room and bid him a good night. The man was nice, but the whole situation still left Jeff unnerved. He's just too tired to tell himself that he watched far too many horror movies as a child. The bedroom had a canopy bed, only one old lamp, single window, and a red carpet. The house was eerily quiet as Jeff laid himself down on the bed. Quiet, except for a creak here and a thump there. By now, Jeff's imagination had him too paranoid to sleep, as he heard Mr. Palmer outside the room walking up and down the hallway outside. Up he went, and down he went. Then, the footsteps stopped right outside his room. Jeff waited, yet nothing happened. A half hour passed, and yet he heard nothing except the rain beating outside and the wind howling as the storm blew on. Finally, sleep slowly overcame Jeff, even with his nervousness heightened. Slowly, his eyes closed, though he thought he could almost hear something scratching at his door. See, that's the reason why I turned, because I felt like something was behind me, and I do not fuck with that shit. So, listen, I don't do that. You know I don't do that. Why are you doing this to me? Jeff awoke. The storm had passed, and daylight was shining through the window curtains. Happy that all his nervousness was for nothing, Jeff got out of bed and checked his watch. He had slept in until 11:20 and had to leave quickly before the people from the garage got his car. Leaving the room, he was greeted by Mr. Palmer. Palmer asked him if he had slept well. Jeff replied that he had, and though he had trouble falling asleep. Palmer laughed and asked if he was afraid of the old house at night in the middle of nowhere. Jeff admitted that maybe he was a bit afraid, but he felt silly for it. He thanked Palmer and said he had to leave quickly to get into his car. He turned to leave, and suddenly, something banged on his head, and everything went quite dark. See, this is my attempt at trying to make things scary. You know damn well I can't make shit scary. Let's go. When Jeff came to, he was tied to a chair in the basement. The place reeked of horrible smells. Mr. Palmer walked up to him, with a large knife in hand. Jeff screamed and tried to free himself, but only tired himself out. He looked up in horror at Mr. Palmer and asked him why he was doing this and why now. Palmer answered that last night he would have been nervous, full of fear, and ready for any attack Palmer would do. No, that wasn't the right time. Everyone expects attacks at night, but during the morning, people are more relaxed and the fear is low, making them blind to any chance of harm. Jeff asked him again, why was he doing this? What was he going to do with him? And said someone, like the garage people, would find out what happened. Mr. Palmer said that mishaps happen on highways at night, mainly during storms, so hardly anyone would even think twice as to why he was gone. If anyone actually did start asking questions, Palmer said he had ways to discourage that kind of activity. A's for why he's doing this. Palmer simply said that Jeff needs not to worry about that. In fact, he need not to worry about anything anymore. Jeff looked into Palmer's eyes as he walked towards him. His eyes were completely black. And Jeff tried to scream. Damn, that is fucking creepy as shit. I don't like that. CJ don't like that. I hate creepy shit. I do. Whew, that gave me chills. Alright, this is the last one. It's Blue Baby Bonnet. I just found it. I think this is like a challenge. I don't know. But like, let's go. Once there was a young woman who had a child, but couldn't afford to take care of it by herself. So she put a blue baby bonnet on its head and carried it 2 miles from her house and left it in the woods. Why would you leave a baby? Okay, it's this thing called adoption centers, orphanages, foster care. I mean, you could do that instead of leaving your baby in the fucking woods. This is that's that common white bitch in horror movie shit. I'm not being racist, I'm just saying white bitches in horror movies are really fucking stupid. Really stupid. It's always the white girl too. I don't understand. Like, why can't it be like the black girl or the black man or the Asian guy? I'm just saying. So, as she began to walk home, she heard Blue Baby Bonnet 1 mile away. As she reaches her home, she hears Blue Baby Bonnet 1 mile away. As she sits in her living room to read a book, she hears Blue Baby Bonnet coming up the driveway. She runs upstairs and sits on her bed and she hears Blue Baby Bonnet standing at your door. She's hiding in the bed and hears Blue Baby Boo. Okay, see, no. That's a thing. That's a thing. I can't. That's too scary for me. I can't. I'm about to open that door. But that's it for all these scary stories. I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you did, please leave a like, comment. Hello? Who is this? Okay. Hold on, guys. That was, I think it was just a prank call. Like, it was some guy with like a weird, I'm not even gonna talk about it, but you know what, it's just that, whatever, it doesn't matter. But so, that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe, comment, do something positive if you like something negative, and hey, have a happy Halloween. Deuces.